I'm here with Stu Baker, Business Development Director for Solent LEP. Stu, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me. Yeah.
Now, you haven't yet given your talk, so we're almost getting a bit of a sneak peek really, aren't we, hot off the press. But we're talking about funding opportunities, and that in itself is an incredibly exciting thing to talk about, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Yeah, we're delighted to be launching our new economic strategy for the area today. That's number one. We're really proud of that. It's been a long time coming. We wanted to launch it a while ago, but because of COVID, it just didn't seem the right thing. And actually, there's been some fundamental changes to how the economy functions. We all work from home. The way people work, the way people interact is very, very different. And our economic strategy is out to 2050, so it needed to reflect that. So that was really important for us. So it's changed fundamentally through that period. Obviously, some significant policy initiatives, such as the free port that we've been talking about here today, that we had to make sure that our strategy was cognizant of the future. But as part of that, because it's great to have a strategy, but often strategies just get launched and then they sit on the shelf. But actually what we want to do, what our board want to do, is back that with millions and millions of pounds of investment. It's great to have the free port, and we've heard about £500 million of investment through retained rates coming into the area over the next 25 years, which was transformative. I've lived in this area all of my life, and to have something like that to transform and level up this area is really exciting for me, for my kids, and that's brilliant. But what we're doing, and it's a small token, but what we're doing as an LEP is investing in with new loan products. So it's interest-free loans. So money costs, but we're actually providing it on an interest-free basis to businesses. We're a business-led organisation, and a lot of money from government at the moment is going and being directed quite rightly to local authorities who can unlock projects to support communities, support levelling up. But we want to help our businesses, particularly our SMEs, which are the lifeblood of our economy, and make sure that they have an opportunity to create jobs, to grow, to expand into new markets. We're in a post-Brexit world now, so new markets all across the world. We're here at a port with 70 destinations all over the world. So we want to help those businesses. So we've got two loan products which we'll be launching here today on the back of Solent 2050, which will help us deliver a small step, first step on that strategy. So we'll be having one product which is offering loans of between £100,000 and £1 million, so significant funding that can support growth projects that businesses have got, and then a smaller offering which is between £15,000 and £99,000. Interest-free, you can have a 12-month loan repayment holiday, repay the funding within 36 months as well. So very flexible terms, obviously better than you can get on the commercial market as well, and that's what we want to do for the businesses, so that in this really tough time, coming off the back of COVID, when things are really, really tough, there's obviously the cost of living crisis, and businesses are feeling the fuel crisis as well, of course, and it's really important. It's a small step in terms of funding, £5 million in one project, £1 million in another, £6 million, but we're going to see how this goes, and we've got plenty more money that we could reinvest to this. And that's the whole benefit of using our money flexibly through loan funding, is that once it gets repaid, we don't take a profit from that. We're not interested in that at all. That's not what we're about. We reinvest that back into the businesses of the area, or to buildings such as the Horizon Cruise Terminal. We put £8 million into this, and delighted to do so standing here today.
Wow, I mean, they're brilliant plans. And you say, token gesture, things like that. It absolutely doesn't come across that way. And the scope of businesses as well, as you say, there's a lot on offer that covers a lot of different types of businesses and different bases.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're really keen to, government are talking to organisations such as local enterprise partnerships, that you need to back your winners and focus on those sectors that you are really, really strong at. Here in the Solent, our number one sector that we are globally significant at is the maritime sector. We've got the backdrop of the River Test behind us and the Port of Southampton, and we, it's 20% of our economy, so £7.7 billion of all the output that we produce in this economy is from the maritime sector in some way, and we've got about a £35 billion economy, so significant. It's massive. It employs about 190,000 people as well, so that will always be our priority, so really important for us. But actually there's a range of other sectors that we're really, really strong in. Backdrop again here, we've got the sort of New Forest National Park you can just see in the distance, the tourism sector, hospitality sector. They've had an absolute hammering over the last couple of years with COVID, but that's a really key sector for us. We all sort of have the benefit of going to the national park at weekends for picnics, etc. And it's great to see the tourists flooding back to the area, and of course the Isle of Wight as well, just now just down the water, a fantastic tourist destination that we've got for those staycations here in the UK. And let's not forget, retail, both online and bricks and mortar. We want to get people back into our city centres. So, retail is really important. We've got West Quay, we've got Gun Wharf, we've got other sort of shopping developments, and it's really important to get that footfall back into those areas, to be spending money, obviously going into the cafes and restaurants, etc., and just getting back and interacting with people again. And one of our priorities through Solent 2050, which actually came through the whole COVID crisis, was around that well-being agenda. It's something that we've all become really, really mindful of as we've been sort of stuck in isolation and desperate to interact with people. And it's great to see sort of almost 300 people here today to be able to, actually talk to people and see people that you've just seen on a screen, for the last couple of years. So, part of our agenda is sort of getting people, having those opportunities, getting them back into those sort of big, environments when they can interact. And we're social animals, humans, aren't we? We like interacting, most of us. So.
Yes, and that is so heartening to hear that health and well-being really is at the heart of what you're hoping to do, expand on, work with, going forwards. And also worth mentioning that you say these funding opportunities don't just benefit the businesses that you're putting the money into, it's the ripple effect. It's the people that are going to experience the fruits of those investments. It's great, isn't it? It's here and beyond.
It really is, and I think we've heard a lot about the sort of net zero agenda today. That's really important for us, and I've mentioned National Park and getting people out to sort of experience that natural capital that we've got here. And previously we've always focused on jobs and sort of cash things, but actually the actual natural capital that we've got in terms of our quality environment, the marine and the landscape environment. The Isle of Wight is a UNESCO biosphere, so we've got a plethora of massive assets here, and I think actually the financial implications of those are really important. And people say you go to the New Forest, for example, or the South Downs or the Isle of Wight, and they will brand things that are New Forest or Isle of Wight because there is something that's special about that, and so reflecting that sort of natural environment is really important for us. It's what's great about this area.
Yes, and I think everyone can appreciate that now, more than ever. So really exciting things. And actually we're going to be talking again about sustainability and looking after our green spaces a little bit later on as well. But for now, Stu, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks ever so much. Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you.